Okay. Hi everybody, Jennifer from Memories Made Art. Thanks for joining me today. I haven't glued anything down on this layout, but because I wanted to show you how I put it together, because I love how this came out, but it was actually really simple. So I'm going to pause the video, take everything off, and come back and show you how I put it together. Okay, so this is the picture that I started with, and I love this picture. It was fall, we were outside, and it's probably hard to tell in here, but I was wearing a purple dress, and my daughter has a lot of pink in her outfit. I have one of my little pumpkin earrings, and you can tell that it's fall, the grass is starting to die, but there's still leaves on the trees. So I wanted to bring in, the first thing I did was try to pick colors. So I knew I wanted like a fall color purple. So I got this really nice, it's almost like a plum color from Cricut cardstock. I used all Cricut cardstock for the blank, or for the solid color this time. I just like the texture on it. It's got a little bit of a bubble texture. And I wanted to pick out some other colors. So purple was going to be the main one, and I wanted a couple other fall colors. So I picked yellow and green, and I thought that the green would bring out the trees in the back, but the yellow would be enough contrast to draw us into the picture. So that's how I chose my main colors. And then at that point I knew I wanted a fall theme, just like overload on fall. And I happen to have this paper stack from Die Cuts with a View from forever ago. I do not think you can get this anymore, but any fall themed paper pack will do, or even just a fall themed paper if you want to get that. This one is the Autumn Splendor stack. And what I did is I usually just flip through the paper stack and pull anything that jumps out at me. In this case, I had this one is like a border paper. This is always a great thing to look for when you're looking at doing scrapbooking pages. And in this case, I pulled this one, the dots, and I think that was it. I had my eye on these trees because I liked the trees, but I ended up using the trees from the border page. So that is where I started. So then I just started cutting. I took the border page, and I think it was like this or something like that. So I ended up just cutting off the border strips, and you can do that, just cut wherever you like. I happened to like this, including the little dots at the bottom. I feel like it grounded it well. I wanted the trees at the bottom of the page. Sorry, keep knocking the camera. And then I wanted the yellow strip at the top, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got a little bit of shading at the top border here. So I decided to put that at the top. So now we've got a page coming together, and I wanted to use the dots, but I wasn't quite sure how to get that in there. So I just started playing around with it, and I sort of liked the offset look of this, and I forgot to measure. So it's a good thing I have my handy measuring thing right here. This came out to be a 6x9 block. So if you want to do a really impactful but simple scrapbook layout, these borders are 1.5 inches and 2 inches. So the top border is 1.5 inches, the bottom border is 2 inches, and then this is a 6x9 rectangle, and you can put that right there. And then I put my picture right here. And then I decided I wanted the word fall up top and a bunch of leaves. Like I wanted this overly fall. So I went to Cricut and I found these two cutouts, and I wasn't sure which one I was going to use. So I cut them both out at the same time. The back on this one is red, and I inked up the edges on this one with some Distress Oxide. After trying both, they would both work, but I ended up going with fall, and I actually messed up on this one. I got carried away with the glue because you have to glue down the brown. I got carried away and ended up gluing onto the red leaf, and I'm like, oh no, because the glue was actually going to show once it dried. So I just quick stuck another color leaf on there and tried to save it. So I don't know if it worked or not, but I don't mind it. So that'll do. And then, because I wanted a ton of a fall look, I actually found these little leaves on Cricut also, and I cut out a ton of them. So I will show you the paper And this is a cool Cricut trick. So I cut out the leaves. This is how they ended up cutting out on the Cricut. I don't know if you can see that very well. There we go. So I cut out the leaves, and then what I did was I took the mat out of the Cricut and I put another color in and just cut it again on different color paper. So I cut green, orange, and red, and this is the same red that I cut the fall out of on the other side. It's another good trick. You can just turn your mat over and use the other side without taking everything off. So then I had all these tiny leaves, and what I ended up doing, I liked the leaves, but I wanted it to look a little bit more fall-like. So I again took the Distress Oxide in brown. I think that is, I should have gotten that color earlier. That's Vintage Photo. So that's a nice brown. And I cheaped out because I wasn't sure how I was going to like them on the Distress Oxides, and I just glued some makeup foam because I had that, and some bottle caps because I had those. I glued those together, and then what I did was I just went around the edges of all of these and inked them up with the brown ink. So then that gave them a little bit more of a leaf look, like they were just kind of dying around the edges. So then, oh my gosh, I keep knocking the camera. So then I'm just going to lay them out sort of alternating colors, and there are a couple of these that aren't inked. I'll ink those before I glue everything down. But that is the basic layout. So once I get all of these on here, some more red, then I will glue these to the page and leave it at that. Now you can journal here if you want to. I had a foil embossed leaf that I was going to put here, but after I finished the page, I thought it would take away from the photo too much, so I decided to leave that out. But you could always slip a little journaling behind here. If you want to move the picture over to the right, you can put a little journaling block here. So there are lots of options and a really simple layout. So I hope you like this. If you don't mind, leave me a comment, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be gluing this down with art glitter glue for the leaves, and I will be using my ATG tape runner to glue the larger stuff down. So I will see you next time, and thanks for watching.